I think I need plants. Everyone else has plants in their films. Good morning. Happy Friday. The week is flying by for me. It just went so fast. I'm having a bit of a slow morning, to be honest. That video that I did yesterday on hormone replacement therapy took a lot of energy because it required some research. I'm kind of dragging my feet today. Yeah, but yesterday was 70 degrees and it was beautiful. And we went for a walk and we got ice cream. Oh, it was so nice. Today it's going to be cold, but last day before the weekend. So I'd like to talk about habits again. It's what my life is revolving around lately. I might be a little too addicted to my habits and my routines right now while I'm really trying to establish them. David made us go to bed a half an hour late the other day and I had a mental breakdown because we went to bed at 8:30, so I have to take a breath, probably reframe my mind around it all, but I think it brings great value to your life. Some of you may know that I've been using the Fabulous app as my habit tracker. And I'm just loving it so much. I've been through so many different habit trackers apps. The James Clear Atomic Habit Tracker Notebook. And I just always end up not doing it or opening the apps and then deleting them. They're just not engaging. And for whatever reason, I don't keep up with them. But I was scrolling on Pinterest, as I do, a few weeks ago, and came across the Fabulous app and decided to try it. You have to pay for it, but there was a free week. And I think I have a link for 30 days free that I'll add to the description. But I decided I'll try it for a week. Why not? And it was just so engaging. They say that they use science to keep you engaged, like kind of like a video game would, yada yada. It must be working because you open it, it's beautiful. They ask you questions and you kind of pick your journey, the goals that you're trying to achieve. Are you trying to lose weight? Are you trying to gain focus? And they create sets of routines for you. So you have your morning routine, you have your nighttime routine. They might have a pre-work routine that you build in later. But the really good thing about it is you don't just like hit the ground running and add a bunch of things and then fall off. You add it really slowly, incremental changes. The journey I was on started with water, which I love drinking it every morning. And you have to do it for a long time in order to reach, complete the journey. And I think that's great because the science is really conflicted on how long it takes to build in a habit and make it automatic. So I just love that they do those long, drawn out incremental changes to really change your life and to make it long lasting. They also have these daily coaching things. It's a little story, you can read it or they'll read it to you. And I've just found it to be really relevant every day. It kind of wakes me up and then grounds me after my meditation in the morning. And at nighttime, it brings me back down for sleep. And I think it might change depending on if you've missed a day or if you've gotten a streak going, because it just always seems really relevant to my journey and the path that I'm on. So I just love it. I think it's really cool. I think it's worth the money. I paid for the year or whatever. It's cheaper if you pay for the entire year. And I'm not a person who pays for apps, but I was like, this is bringing a lot of value to my life. So I went with it and it's working great. So I guess I'd also like to talk about why the heck you would even have a habit tracker in the first place. And there's another James Clear quote that I love, and it's, "We don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems." And it's one of those things where you just can't count on motivation all the time. You're not always going to be motivated. And I've talked about it before. You need to gain the tools and the systems to almost make it like hard not to do the things that you're trying to accomplish, or the things and the habits in your life that you want to do. Just because when you develop so many systems, then it becomes automatic. The thing about using a habit tracker, especially the Fabulous app or an app in general, is it checks two of the James Clear principle boxes for developing a habit, right? He's got 4 principles. I've talked about them before, I think, in my The Importance of Hydration video. But the first principle that it covers is make it obvious. You don't want to have to remember what you want to do. You want it to be obvious. You want it to be right in front of your face. So all you have to remember to do is open the app. And that's a lot easier than remembering the 12 things I have on in my routine lists or whatever. I was talking about this with David yesterday. He said he's really struggling with getting all the things he wants to get done. He mouth tapes at night and turns off his Wi-Fi and just or airplane mode, and does certain biohacking things that he's not doing every day. It's kind of hit or miss because he only does it when he remembers, and our brain is not something that we can count on. So we really have to make it obvious, and an app does that. It makes it obvious. The thing is, throughout the day, I like to talk about this a lot. We only have a certain amount of bandwidth, and we can increase the amount of bandwidth that we have maybe by meditating and by exercising, and maybe that gives you more bandwidth to work with, but it's still something that should be protected. You want to make your brain and your actions as efficient as possible. So if you have to remember each individual thing, decision fatigue is going to set in, and it's going to take up more bandwidth to remember those things, which is why sometimes you're just not going to remember. So when you use a habit tracker, you're replacing the bandwidth it would take to remember 12 things with only remembering one thing. So that's another thing. Other than it being obvious, they're kind of tied into one. It really preserves your bandwidth, and these things become automatic, and that's when they become a habit, and it just becomes the way that you live your life instead of something that you have to remember to do. The second principle that this app or any habit tracker really checks is make it satisfying. Anything you want to become a habit, you want to make it satisfying, and the main way he describes in his book Atomic Habits to make something satisfying is a habit tracker, something that you physically write and you can check off the habits on your to-do list, and it's kind of feels good every time you do it. It's the same with the app. Every time I get to click the little check mark, get to click done, it feels fabulous. So a couple other things that I really like about the app is that in the workouts or the exercises and the meditation, they have their own workouts and meditations that you can do. It's all included in the app, which I really like. And for working out or exercising, if that's something that you want to incorporate and you don't have a trainer or a coach, their workouts go down to as little as 1 minute, which I think that is phenomenal as far as make it easy. A third principle in habit change is that when you're starting something out, you don't want to go too big. So doing a 1 minute workout every day sounds stupid, but it's actually really great to establishing a workout routine. And they have they have 1 minute workouts, but they have 8 minute workouts, and they have longer workouts. They have yoga. So it's really cool that it's all incorporated into the app. And then when you start one of your routines, like a morning routine, if we want to take for an example, there's the fabulous moment that you can open. So you don't actually just have to do the check marks. You can start your moment, and this big screen opens up, and it takes you one at a time through each individual thing, plays a little bit of music. The reason why I like that is because it keeps you away from distractions. I really don't like going on Instagram or texting right away in the morning, because it takes that energy, gives it to the world instead of giving it to myself for me time in the morning. So it creates like this little world for you inside the app that's all encompassing, that kind of like keeps you focused on your routine. And I really think that's beneficial. I'll talk about the one thing about the app that I don't love, and I don't really know what can be done about it, but I was on I don't know, a 14, 16, I don't know, day streak with my morning routine, getting every single thing done every single day. And yesterday I didn't work out, and the whole streak ended, and it starts back from the beginning, and it crushed my soul. It was awful. I don't know what happens to my journey, if all my mountains go away or what the deal was, but it was like reverse satisfying. It was awful. So the daily coaching today, I don't know if it reflected that, but it talked about how we need to get out of this space where there's a need for doing your habits, and it's more of like, I get to do my habits. It's a privilege. I get to sleep in a warm bed. I get to drink clean water. So yeah, that's really what I needed this morning for daily coaching. And I don't know if it was because I missed yesterday or what, but that's the one issue I have with the app. Video game developers really get into your psyche, and when you miss a day, they like throw you a few extra coins or an extra weapon or something. They know how to keep you engaged in the game, and we'll see how the app does. But today I wanted to throw my phone in the garbage. But we'll see how it goes. I'm definitely going to stick with it, because my energy and my lifestyle is just, it's just so much better with set routines, and I think it's really healthy for my daughter as well. So that's the Fabulous app. I'm really enjoying it. I recommend that you try it. Let me know how it goes. I will see you guys Monday morning. Have a great weekend. Bye.